Good morning. I'm sitting here steady talking. I was talking about those of you that there's two that's listening and Monique. Yeah. Well, there's two it shows are on listening. Oh my gosh, Monique. I wasn't even on the screen and I was steady talking and I looked up and I'm like, I ain't been talking to nobody. Oh my gosh. You guys, it's one of those mornings. Oh, yay, there's Chris. Let me do him an invite. Good morning again, Monique. Oh, goodness. There's Chris. Good morning, Myra. Myra, did we ever figure out whose channel that fundraiser for Derek was on? Because I couldn't find it. I know it wasn't on his channel. I mean, it's over with, but I was just wondering because I could go to, at least leave a message. Oh, I'm so sleepy. Myra, I tried to get Casey to come back on with me this morning. It must be this weather. It's yucky here in Alabama. It's cold. It's drizzly. Hey, Chris.
Hey, August.
Oh, I'm glad I caught you this morning because you don't have to work.
Nope.
Super Dave come in yesterday in the chat.
I do miss coming on your live streams. I really do. I've just been busy in that.
Mm-hmm. Well,
trying to get my mind back in.
Well, yesterday was the first time I'd been on in over a week, maybe. So,
Yeah.
oh, Monique said, "Chris, long time no see. How are you?"
I'm hanging there. I'm trying to get my mind back in things.
Yeah.
Because on last Sunday I went up to see my girlfriend's tombstone. It was beautiful. And I was trying not to cry, but I couldn't hold it in.
I know. Now you see how it took me forever to come back on after MawMaw.
Looks like I can see my Jazzy behind you.
Yeah.
Right beside it. I can see her.
Where at?
Is she right here? Right beside. Where's she at?
There she is.
Yep, there she is.
There you are. When we swapped out our refrigerator, I had to take all the magnets off, so I brought them in here and put up some of the artwork. So I have one that's by Ian. I have that picture of you and Jasmine, and up under that I got two pictures from Artfully Blind with Diana. And then of course I have Grayscale, and the beach scene is Bruce, and the mountain scene up there is Tiffany.
Mm-hmm. So I seen the topic is Therapy Thursday. Therapy Thursday.
Yeah, because I said, look, today's going to be therapy for me. Where am I hiding her, darling? She's back there. She's back. I want to make, what I'm going to do is I want to go to the furniture stores, like where I got our refrigerator from. They didn't come in the box, they just brought them in a package. But what I want to do is take some of those huge like refrigerator boxes and break them down sort of to where there'll be a back screen to me. And then I could put the artwork that people have given me, because I want to find the one Traci did. She did a coloring sheet and she sent it to me. And then I have a couple of Derek's that he sent to me. So I want to be able to show all those.
So if I don't ask, how's Traci? Is she okay?
She has surgery in 2 weeks.
She has surgery in 2 weeks.
She's got to have surgery in 2 weeks, and she's just trying to hold in, Chris. It's been very
What's she getting done? What's she getting done?
You know, she got a spine stimulator, a new one implanted, and then it has like a little thin wire and it goes down her spinal column. So that helps with that leg pain. Well, when she got that one done, her other leg got as bad as that. So they've got to go in and fix that leg.
Oh.
So then she won't have that severity of pain. She will probably always have pain, but it won't be as severe.
How's Denise?
Denise, we FaceTime this morning, me, her, and Monique. She might try to come in, but she's real tired. We have basically the same weather because she lives in the state beside me in Georgia. And when the weather's wet and kind of damp and is kind of cold, it makes your bones hurt. So she's real tired and she's achy. Oh, and her they called her old lady dog. She passed away yesterday.
Aww.
She's had her, did she say 17 or 18 years, Monique? See, there's 16 or 18 years that they've had that little dog, that little Chihuahua.
And she passed away?
Yeah, her dad took her to the hospital because she knew it was coming. So they had to make that decision to send her, to the doctor and have him take her out of her misery. 17 years.
Is Sonia okay?
Sonia is still basically in the same condition, Chris.
No.
They're going to try to make a decision on what more they can do. She can't talk, but I do believe she hears, and sometimes when she wakes up a little bit, I think she panics a little bit because she knows she's in the hospital maybe, and she'll just start crying. But then they have to put her back under the medical. I call it a medicine-induced coma. It's not a regular coma, but they're trying to alleviate how much pain she's in. And it's just hard. It's hard on our kids. 7 months is a long time.
I know.
For her kids. Monique said she stares or cries when she's awake for just a minute. Yeah. And then because the heart monitor, she's got a defibrillator that if her heart stops, it starts it back. So that'll start going off. And her, she gets panicked. And then they put her back to sleep. So and the kids are ready for their mom to be back. And I know you understand that one because you and your mom so close. Somebody's hollering for Chris. Let me check Facebook. Oh, there's Kevin. He says, whoop, whoop. He likes when I go live. And nobody on there. Oh, no, that was yesterday's. Okay. Let me look at the screen. Monique, it's just us ladies, ain't it? Us ladies and Chris. But that's okay too. Where two or more are gathered together, Jesus said, there I will be also. So we got 7 watching and 3 thumbs up. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for the thumbs up. And hey, Joss. Good morning, my love. I think the therapy scared them away, Monique. They probably thought, if she's doing therapy, she's crazy enough. Happy Thursday. If you don't need talk therapy, I sure do. Come on in and bring your coffee. That scared people off, I think. They know I am way past. Hey, Beth, welcome back. Welcome back, Beth. You probably thinking welcome back to you. And I told everybody I'm so sleepy. I started the live and I wasn't even on the screen yet. I was talking away and I was still in the what some people call the green room. I was talking away and I happened to look at the screen and couldn't figure out what was wrong. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm talking away and I'm not even in there. That's the kind of morning I'm having. And I knew if I didn't come on this morning, Ben would say, I told you to get off before you felt so bad that you couldn't come on today. So, Ben, you're out there somewhere. I'm in. Trying to do better about my eating 3 or 4 times a day with the bars. I did my meal shake yesterday, and it helped. Right now, I'm doing a breakfast bar. It's just a snack. It's not like a meal. But after a while, I'll get me something else. Because the more I went not wanting to eat, I started getting more and more nauseous. And then I didn't want to eat. So I was going days like that.
I'm here. I just got my lunch.
Lunch already? Oh, I forget that I'm going on later.
Oh, hey, Nuggets, I changed my picture on here.
I know. She looks like that was when she was a baby.
That one?
Huh?
That was a picture was taken recently.
Oh, that one was? I don't know why she looks so like a puppy. But last night we got Captain D's and I just got me one piece of fish. So, Monique says she likes that picture, Chris. It's cute.
Thank you, Monique. Thank you.
It's hard to decide who's cuter, Jasmine or Chris. I just don't know. We should do a poll. Who thinks who's cuter? I met you first, so I'm kind of biased. Josh, did you tell Janet that she could tune in? Equally cute is what Monique said. Equally. Sometimes when I talk about everybody, and even Myra, I even mention you because you're all part of my family. And it's like I'm talking about people that I'm sitting in front of, like we're all sitting at the kitchen table, and I'm like, yeah, my sister this, and then there's Chris, and Chris is like my adopted son, and I talk about Sonia, and I'll say, and some people have girlfriends in person. My sister in Florida does. She has a bunch of women friends that the whole time she's been in Panama City, they raised their kids together and they went through life's up and downs and stuff like that. She had in-person sisters like that, adopted sisters. In fact, one of them looked more like my sister than I do. I mean, I was like, it was uncanny how much they looked alike. But God blessed me. It took a while, but God blessed me with sisters like this and brothers. So I'm blessed. I look at that as blessed. Because some, people say, well, you don't really know people from the computer. They just show what you want to show. And I told the woman that had to come home with Tiffany for her visit, I said, look, I don't have skeletons in my closet. I just bring them out. And then I told her, I said, I had a bucket of little tiny skeletons. I was pulling them out. I said, look, I don't hide the skeletons in the closet. I am just who I am. Yes, Monique, God knows best what we need. And at a time that we need it. I think some of us met up at a time that there were friends that left some of you. Traci lost a couple of hers. They passed away before she ever met me. So she and I got close real fast because that's what God knew we needed. And with what Denise has gone through, and he brought us all together for this time, this season. So, I just thank God every day, because pretty much any time of the day we can FaceTime and one of us are going to answer, even though we're all on different time zones. And Joss, did you get some sleep? You guys pray for Little Thunder. Her being with her mom, she's ready to get back to sit with her mom. But she really needs our prayers. And I already know, Joss, that there are a lot of people praying for you. And Tiffany writes it up on the prayer board. They fast on Thursday. So today is their fast day. And they fast from a certain time on Wednesday night to a certain time on like Thursday night. And I think they have spaghetti night or breakfast, because I think she might have said they have breakfast food because they say it breaks the fast. But that's the time that they put the names on the board and they pray over the board all day. So there is prayer going out for each and everybody out there. And I know you guys are praying for me. I know that. And every message means so much. And I'm writing Tiffany. I wrote her some last night until I was too sleepy. But I told her that she was going to inspire. I said, you will end up inspiring somebody for, what you're going through. You will know how to best help somebody else. So when I wrote her last night, I said, in fact, Casey is looking forward to doing Bible study again. I said, so see, that's inspiring him. So you've already put that back, that calmness back in him. And we're looking forward to it. Hey, Tony, it's good morning, because I know that you're up real late. So good morning, Tony. Good morning. I am happy to see your face. So I have and you guys, if you don't know, Tony is Sonia's dad and Little Thunder's granddaddy. So yes, we keep each other leveled. And I told him I always feel like the friend in the bunch that always is dramatic and always, that I'm the one that's always at a crisis or needing something. And they said I'm not like that. But, we all have different ways of dealing with things. And Traci's pain is so elevated that she can barely function like talking to anybody. So that's why I'm so happy that she was on Facebook. Oh, well, I'm very sensitive. Oh, Tony, I think she's asking, why are you awake? Grandpa, why are you awake? And yes, you guys, I am very sensitive. There's my friend. Good morning, Tony. I have your picture behind me. Somebody thought I had postcards, and I'm like, no. I said, those are my pictures. I said, there's the beach scene is Vermont, Bruce's, and there's your elephant picture and Tiffany's mountain, and over way to the other side is one of Ian's. So, oh, Tony. Old man bladder. Yep. So we got two Tonys in here, so I'll have to call you Grayscale. Grayscale, Tony is Sonia's daddy. So yes, it is early in the morning for him. So Grayscale, how are you feeling? That's the question I want to ask. I know it's like the two of them got caught with the hand in the cookie jar. Good morning, Anna Mora. Good morning, Anna Mora. Anna Mora, we have, and I know I keep repeating myself on here, but there's some that, because I haven't been regular, there's some on here that I'll just tell you. You remember Sonia from Australia that would be up with me, come on with me. Her dad is in here, and his name's Tony. And then her daughter is Little Thunder. And the reason she went by that is because Dwayne Mothership called Sonia Thunder Down Under. So Little Thunder is her oldest daughter, Joss. So we got two family members in here. And then I'm sure that Janet that is actually sitting with Sonia right now, I'm sure she's got this playing, and so that Sonia somewhere down in there can hear it. So if Janet does have it to where Sonia can hear, I love you, and we're all praying for you, and we're ready for you to be back. So yes, there you go. I miss my girl. I miss her real bad. So I can't even imagine with how my heart feels. Like I told Joss, I can't even imagine what her heart feels, or Tony, your heart feels. and the other children. But I just thank God that Joss has been keeping those updated. I sent messages through Sonia's messenger, and Joss started answering them. And that's how 7 months ago that we started, how we started our dialogue. And now it's went on to Denise sends messages sometimes. LizzAnn sends funny animal pictures. And then Monique sends the word that God sent, puts through her. She's able to do that. So we've been welcomed by all the family members, and that means a lot to us. Anna coming and going. I'm just glad to see your name pop up there. Yesterday, I had Casey. I talked Casey into coming in with me. Well, at least we got this scripture, Anna Mora. Be joyful in hope, patient in affliction, and faithful in prayer. I chose that because patient in affliction, because that's how most of us came together, because of something in each other's life, some affliction that, whether of our mind, our body, our spirit, that's how we all met each other. So I tell people, if it had not been for my disability, I wouldn't have met such great people, and most of it did. I met most of them in the jewelry community when Casey used to auction jewelry. And, then he started doing live Bible study. And I really thought that people would come out of the come up and try to destroy him on it, or I really didn't know how it was going to go over, but it went over real well. God protected it. And I'm glad Myra said yesterday she's ready for him to start it back, because it did good for me to be able to us do the Bible from front to back, and we started over again. And it helped me retain more by listening to him and reading along with him. Because I have a hard time sometimes. It's weird. I can read a book that doesn't matter. It's not going to, spiritually make me any stronger. And I can remember the characters and everything. But to pick up my Bible and start reading, sometimes it kind of, my mind starts straying. And that's why I like having the Bible app. So when something comes to my mind, I can just Google it or look in my Bible app and find the message. Sort of like when you hear a song, wake up with the song in your head. You automatically Google it if you're like me and want to hear it right away. So I'm like that with scriptures.
I'm back.
Yep. So let me see. I didn't read yesterday's. It was Second Chronicles.
Look good here.
Jasmine, that's my precious. I call her Precious. That's my Precious. Hey, Precious.
She wanted you in too.
What's wrong, Precious? She don't look like she wants to be up there today.
She has her moments. I love her.
And it doesn't say where 2 or 3 come together in church. It doesn't say that. It's just where two or three come together in his name. So we had Porch Church out there one day, out on the porch, just me and Casey reading. And when I left, I went up the road. Right up the road, we have a Sonic. And Sonic they have burgers and ice cream, all that kind of a drive through. And there were these two men that were standing outside talking. And they basically were talking about what me and Casey were just talking about. So I had to roll my window down. And they were complete strangers. And I said, I just have to tell you guys, me and my son was just reading in the Bible. And you guys were talking about the same thing. And it makes me feel good to know I can ride down the road and hear two grown men outside talking about the Lord. So they came to the car and we had prayer. I stayed in the car. Of course, I'm about to go through the drive-through. And we had prayer right there. And come to find out, one come walk later in the day, one come walking across the my yard. I'm like, what is he doing? I just saw him up at Sonic. He works over there with my husband. So see, small world. Small world that we live in. So yeah. That's that. Now it's so quiet. It is so quiet. That's the strangest thing about doing this like when I'm sitting in here by myself, is the part of this. You know, let me share share the picture of my grandson and okay. I know I sent it to the girls. You know what? I sent it to Dwayne too. All right, let me see. So Monique, I could just be silent and just sit here and eat eat this stuff. All right, I'll show the picture of. Okay, let me screen share. There we go. There's Tiffany and me and my grandson, Joey. So that's the first time I got to see Joey since he was here. Hey! Okay, hugs to you, John. Hugs to you. But yes, my grandson's 17 and he is, yes, and he's got to be, he says 6'3", but he is by far, let me see which picture. The satin's blurry, but still, he's kind of leaned down in this. But he is taller than his pawpaw. And he's leaned down there with his mom. I had somebody else take these pictures. So, let me find one of him and Casey. Oh, that's me with my nose all in the air, you guys. Let me find the one. There you go. Casey's 6'3". So I told Joey if he was standing straight up, he would be taller than Casey. And those beautiful flowers right there. Oh, not that one. Those beautiful flowers he brought. Yes, see, Monique. He brought those. He brought me daisies and brought his mama. He brought his mama the mixed flowers. So he's just that kind of son. He's very sweet. He is he's just got a lot going on. He's very very much active in school. Ah, ta-da! Good morning. I couldn't talk Casey in coming on this morning, Dwayne. But he is a good boy. And I said, yeah, I was told Princeton's looking at you. He said, yeah, and a lot others. I said, you can't decide if you want to do surgery or be a brain surgeon. And he said, well, yeah. I said, look, your nanny, either a brain or regular doctor. Your nanny needs a doctor in the family. Then I had to remind him what he said when he was little about, Nanny, I'm going to grow up and be a doctor, and I'm going to find out what's wrong with you. Oh, I said, oh, son. He was about 8 or 9. He said, then I'll make enough money I can fix this house. I said, there you go. So I reminded him of it. And I also reminded him that he was about 7 when I was still having these issues with, I'd be standing and I'd feel like my right foot would be moving and it wouldn't. And the doctors never could tell me what was wrong. They didn't know. So a 7-year-old was sitting at the table one day at supper with all of us. And he goes, Nanny, I know what's wrong with it. I looked at him. I said, well, what is it? Hey, I'm doing therapy today. So you can therapy. You can do therapy on me today. So this 7-year-old said, Nanny, it's in your brain. It's your brain telling you your foot's moving, but it's not really moving. Then I said, good, Joey. And I had to tell him, I said, 10 years later, what you said as a 7-year-old is pretty much what a cardiologist told me. The connection between my legs and, my brain is telling my body that my heart's not beating enough to push the blood down and back up. And that makes me want to pass out. So I told him all that. Good night, Tony. Joss, go to bed, he said. So yes, I told him, I said, see, even as a 7-year-old, you got it right. You got it right. And I said, I just couldn't wait to see you in person to tell you this. So he's very intelligent, and he's got a girlfriend now. And his other grandmama told me he wanted to be with that girlfriend and not go to school. But him and Tiffany talked about it. It was like him here. He never skipped a beat with his mom. The two of them, the way they interacted. They were on the front porch and they did some visiting alone. Oh, Dwayne, Kevin won't get on the plane. And how much of a ride would it be from here to Utah? Because it has taken me 2 days to try to get over just the 14 hours in the car over the weekend. And I'd have to bring a cage for the raccoon, which I know your wife would love that. And then 26 hours. Oh, Kevin could drive that. We could drive half a day, and yeah, I'll have to tell him. And then, we'd have to bring Bailey. So we would have to have us a camper. We'd have to pull a camper. So that way the coon and the dog can stay in the camper. But I would love to visit. But I got to visit Denise first. Because if I could drive like 26 hours, then we could drive 4 hours to see her. And I'm pointing that way. Probably pointing the wrong way. But anyway, she lives in Georgia. So across the bridge in 4 hours. I know, Monique, but we need a decent vehicle first. Then look for a camper. Because that was our enjoyment. We used to love going camping. And even usually in September when I was still working, I got PTO, paid time off, and I would always put it in advance for a week, 5 days. And we would camp. We would camp out. And if I didn't get it in, we would still camp out. And Kevin would drive me to the gate for me to get in my car to go to work. And then I'd come back to the campground by myself. But it was so peaceful. Yeah. So he could take you rattlesnake hunting and show you what that's all about. You guys, I sure did. I took the rattlesnake out of the freezer and I unwrapped it and I showed them that yes, we have a rattlesnake in our freezer. Yep, still in there too. Still in there. So I think we did talk about that. Kevin ate some, but it didn't look fresh. We went to the rattlesnake rodeo and I sure didn't taste it. Look, I ain't saying nothing about nobody's grammar. Good morning, Ben. I was talking about you earlier this morning, Ben. I think I scared a lot of you off because it was like therapy. And you was probably thinking, oh my goodness. Yeah, it kind of looked like fish. It's what it looked like when they were cooking it, battering it and all that. And that's what it looked like. I wish I could find my pictures of going to the rattlesnake rodeo. I took a lot of pictures. And one of them, the head was as big as my fist. It was humongous. And I got my camera zoomed in. I got as close to the fence as I could and touched it and then took a picture. Oh, I will. I'll call her today. Oh, it wasn't nothing bad, Ben. Nothing bad. Aw. 4 days. Oh my gosh. I've heard it tastes like chicken, but to me, it looked like when you fillet fish. I was born in California and we drove by car. And Mom and them had 6 kids from California out here. And all of us in the back seat. And then I don't so much remember the trips from here to back to California, which there had to be. But I don't know why. I always remember the trips from there back to Alabama. But I know car broke down one time and, it was pretty miserable. Myra's battery went dead. She just sent me a message. But I know, yeah. I know. And she had 6 kids she had 5 of them between the age of 20 and before she turned 30. Well, Ben, maybe because we're right on the Georgia line, you'll have to let me know the route in case you're down here. Oh, I don't know what yours are like, but over here, it can get pretty messy, Joss. I mean, sometimes you just have to grin and bear it. I don't know. I don't care, I guess, what country you in. It could be pretty rough. Ben's his last trip, Dwayne, you'll have to go on his YouTube page. He had some very good films of of a moose, them giving a moose water, and it was pretty cool. You know, Monique, we say that, but I imagine there's some countries for real that is a lot worse than here. Oh, my goodness. So you come across a brown snake in one of the bathrooms. Good morning, Diana. Good morning, my love. 47 minutes. You want to come up? Okay. I'll be on a little bit. And let me see. All right. I pasted it there. Oh, I lost my train of thought. That's not unusual. Hey, J-Dog. Good morning. J-Dog is in the house. Wait, it's still morning. It is still morning. I know. Short train. Look. Well, look, there is Joss, we still have an outhouse out back, which is what they used to use back in the day. And when it finally falls to pieces, one side's gone, I'll use they had an iron. They were uppity. They had an iron toilet, and actually when you lift the lid on it, it looks like a toilet seat. So they were uppity. It wasn't the board with the hole cut in it. So, once that's gone, either Kevin can build another one just for the sake, or I'll use it to plant stuff in. Let me see. Oh, yeah. And, and then porta potties, Joss. I went to a concert, only concert I've ever been to. It was Merle Haggard and Jamie Johnson, and Jamie Johnson did a great job. Merle Haggard, we wanted to kind of see him before he passed on because he was one of the old timers. There wasn't as big of a crowd as most because it was an outside venue, But no, I never want to go again. And their porta potties were really disgusting. Mm. I guess I could do one of those sensory things where I just crinkle paper. I don't get that. That people would just sit and listen to somebody crinkling paper or eating chips. So Dwayne, in my head, this weekend with the woman that came with Tiffany, her name was Stella. I have to associate somebody's name with something, or I am not good with names. So when I found out her name was Stella, eating, and some people want to go in rooms like that, Joss. Oh, and thank you. Oh, wow, that's awful. But no,
Good morning.
but I had to associate her name to remember her name with Stella Got Her Groove Back. I mean, I don't even know why that popped in my head. So every time I'd look at her, it would take me a minute to remember her name. And so I explained to her, I said, look, if you see me just staring at you for a brief moment, I said, I'm trying to associate your name to call your name. And she just laughed. But I'm awful with names. Awful.
And how are you doing, Norgus?
Sleepy and trying to get over the trip, going, driving 7 hours, straight to one place for 4 and straight back for 4.
Yeah,
Well,
that was for the concert.
no, that was picking up Tiffany this weekend.
Mm,
She got her first home visit.
good. How did that go?
Real well.
Good.
And so it was 3.5 hours one way up there to Tuscaloosa.
Yes.
And it's like, but it takes longer because you have to stop to fill up and you have to, stop another time to go to the bathroom or whatever. Then the drive home, we had to stop a couple of times. So yes. Oh, it was pretty rough. So I really didn't feel up to snuff, as I call it, Saturday. And then the drive back Sunday was rough. And then, so I ended up with my right side with sciatic nerve, from all that riding.
Yes.
But Tiffany sent me a letter. I got it yesterday. Tell me how much she thanked me. She said, because I know the ride can't be easy on you, but you didn't say a word. Oh, yeah. And that is Sonia's daughter. Little Thunder is Sonia's daughter, Jocelyn. It is.
And how is Sonia doing?
But the same. They moved her to another hospital to get more care, but it's basically the same.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's very tough. My sister was on a respirator or a ventilator for 5 months. This is 10 years ago. She had been in a car accident. They took her off for a very short time, and then she went back on, and then she passed. And it's very, very difficult when people go through something like this. And hopefully she's going to recover, and hopefully she's going to get well.
Yes. We have prayers out there.
Yeah.
But Joss, somebody's standing in for her and for right now to give Joss a break.
Yes.
It's been a long 7 months.
Mm-hmm.
And not only is Jocelyn on, but Sonia's daddy come in. He came
Oh.
on.
Well, that's nice.
Mm-hmm.
That is really good.
Yeah. So I know when the first time he ever come in the chat, he gave his testimony.
Mm-hmm.
He said he was away from Christ for 40 years.
Mm-hmm.
He was studying to be a minister.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't want to like preach the truth.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, sometimes people will hurt you. So he said, you know, he kind of come away from God for a long, long time.
Mm-hmm.
But he turned his life back over. And him and Joss, they'll do phone prayer when she's there with Sonia.
Mm-hmm.
So they're doing family prayer now. So that is a blessing. It's a blessing. Their family was already tight knit. You know, Sonia was the glue that held everything together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there usually is one person in a family dynamics that holds it together and is the center. My grandmother was that person. Everybody gathered at her house. I'm that person. You know, I've become that person now. And when you lose that person, it really, it's like the center is gone. The focus is gone. The main core is gone.
The hub is what Dwayne called it.
The hub.
And you know, when MawMaw was gone, there was an echo in the house.
Mm-hmm.
And it was hollow in the house after, you know, we cleaned out that room of hers.
Yeah.
I had to keep a light on in there because every time I'd come out of my room, it was just a black hole. And she always was on the computer when we went to bed. Kevin would be asleep. I'd have to cut the TV down, but I could hear her in there talking to people because she'd stayed up late on the computer. And I'd hear her back there laughing or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then when she went to bed, she always had Lifetime on TV and she'd go to sleep that way. So when she was gone, I couldn't get over the silence.
Yeah.
The silence, it just was, and Kevin said, cut that TV off. I got to get up early in the morning. So I finally told him, I said, I'm having a hard time. I'm used to your mom being in there. Yes, it can split a family or make it closer. Yes, that's true.
Hey, Ann, great to see you. Great to see you, my friend. I didn't know Ann knew you. I didn't know y'all knew each other.
Super Dave. Met her on Super Dave.
Okay. Yeah, I've known Ann since I came up public on Facebook or YouTube a year and a half ago. Right when I met you. Yeah.
I bet Ann's like, wait a minute, there's Diana. Look, Ann, you'll hear me call her Diana Brianna like it's all one word, Diana Brianna.
Yeah.
I get away with that.
So everything else is going good?
It is. It really is. I've got to, I'm looking, I've got to arrange my stuff in here. So I've been decorating boxes and really, I wasn't feeling like coming in here creating anything. So I just started decorating boxes that I'm going to sort stuff. You know, the jewelry here, crafting jewelry here, my good jewelry there, paint supplies here. Then I'll go through and separate the art stuff. But until then, because Tiffany will have to share this room with me when she comes back.
Yes.
And I don't know what God's got in store for her. Because there's on the way up there, me and my sister-in-law talked about where if she comes back here, she says she's worried. You know, I said, well, Karen, you know, people can find drugs anywhere they're at. It don't matter where if they're still wanting them. But so we talked about that on the way up there. Then we picked up Tiffany and she got to talking about one of the people that was a great mentor to her. He was great with me too. I'd say, Keith, this me again. I said, look, I don't know how to be this mom with her kid in rehab. I've never went through this. So he said, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So he was so good to me to help me understand. But he left and he started his own church. But now he's talking about starting like a not really a halfway house, but try to start something to get some people educated to be Christian counselors.
Yeah.
And when Tiffany got talking about that, I heard the excitement in her voice about it.
Yeah.
And I said, well, Tiffany,
It gives her purpose. It gives her something to look forward to.
yes. And so then I told Stella, which was the person that had to come home with her, I said, she took psychology in college and she got the presidential award. So I said, that's what she wanted to go to school for. So, she talked about she would really love to help people
Yes.
that, have ended up like her.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I said, everybody's called to do different things. The girl that helped her get in the first rehab last year, she will go in these houses and just get the people she knows that's wanting to go into rehab. She'll walk right in and get them and take them right out. She has no fear of these places.
Yeah.
She's even went in and removed children from houses like that. Walk right in, and God is with her, but
Yeah.
that's not for everybody, And I told Tiffany, I said, God will show you. God will show you.
Everybody has special purpose, and God has specific people for specific things, and and that's just part of our divine assignment. We're all uniquely created for purposes, not just for one purpose, but for a lot of purposes.
Yeah, I mean, that's why some people can sing. They'll be in a choir at church, or they touch people through music. And there's some people that can play instruments.
Yes,
we don't all have the same skills or the same calling, because there's got to be different people. Yeah. Sort of like the verse about the body, the different parts of the body, but we're all still one.
Yeah.
And yeah, the determination. Yeah. Being determined to do something. It's like my oldest sister said, well, you've got what God called you to do. You've got your purpose. I'm waiting for God to give me mine.
Grandma always said, as long as you are alive, you have purpose. And so God's keeping you alive because you have purpose here. It's your job to discover what your purpose is.
Yeah, and I told her, I said, Irene, you could do the same thing I do. She said, no, I can't. She said, no, because you have a way of talking to people. And I would just tell them. I would just be straight up with them and tell them, you living in sin, as long as you're doing that. She said, but you don't do that. I said, no, you gotta, I guess I have to show the part of God loves us. We all sin. We've all made mistakes there's only been one perfect person to ever live on this earth. And that was Jesus Christ. And if somebody tells you they don't sin, well, they just did.
Yep.
Because they just told a lie. Mm-hmm. God sees. You might, yes, by grace. You might think you have people fooled, and you can't put on
Ben. There's Ben down there. Hey, Ben. We have motherships here. We have Monique here. We have Little Thunder here. And then Ben came in. Or I don't know if he was here or.
Yeah, he was.
Okay.
Oh, thank you, my love. Look, you showing that teddy bear side of you. I'm just saying. Look, that's my little redheaded brother. What can I say? Thank you, Dwayne.
Darlene, I'm going to have to go. Oh, by the way, before I go, how is NASCAR man doing?
I guess okay. Somebody said he had they did a what do you call it?
Last time I was on here, he was on here talking about his health crisis.
Hell, he's a grizzly bear, not a teddy. Don't let it fool you. They did a fundraiser. I think they did a fundraiser. Over the weekend we was too busy, so I don't know if anybody knows. Did they do it? Or that do they have one? A fundraiser for, I think, to help with the medical. I don't know.
Is he doing okay? Did he have more surgery, or do you know anything?
So far, I guess he's just doing his chemo. I'm not sure. I haven't touched base with them again. We talked that day, but I haven't since, because so much has been up in the air. So, as I call it.
Well, I've got to go. Thank you. Thank you. Wonderful to see you, my friend. Love you. Love you. And thank you, everybody. And so from my house to yours, I'll talk to y'all soon.
Love you.
Love you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Yes, Dwayne is very nice. And Dwayne, that will pay for StreamYard. Yeah, that all comes out of our joint account. And yeah, Ben's like, Ben kind of reminds me of my husband. They made their mistakes, younger, and rose above a lot of stuff. And that's why Tiffany says her dad is the strongest man she's ever known. And she said he did real well this weekend. She said, especially getting talk about God in the car. And I have to say he did do good, because he doesn't like a lot of talking in the car. Or he doesn't like to hear a lot of talking anyway. I think I overwhelmed him yesterday, because then he just said, Darlene. I said, okay. So then I just hushed. But he needs to make up his mind. He either wants me to talk or not to talk. Because last week when I wasn't talking, it bothered him and Casey both. So I can't help if I don't have a middle. He said I don't have a middle ground. I know, Dwayne. I know. I've been like this since he met me. And I think it's some of the stuff he was doing when he first met me. I think that's why. Well, I was more, really, I was like a different person when I first got with Kevin. So a lot of times it was like walking on, tiptoeing like on eggshells with him. And I'm a very touchy-feely person, like rubbing his arm going down the road and stuff like that. And he was not used to that. And his fiance that he had until he moved back with his mom, and me and him got together. She didn't talk much. She just always looked mad. But, I just talked to everybody. He used to say, do you talk to everybody? Yeah. Everybody knew me, and, at the fast food places, because I talked to everybody. But yeah, I tell them sometimes I was like this, but the kids learn to be quiet. They learned, and if their dad was driving over the road, then yes, we would all be silly and crazy in the car. And see, with me and the kids, it was hyperactivity. It was in our vehicle, and I'd pick up other kids too. I bought the tapes that had like Hakuna Matata, off of Disney and all these different silly songs, and I would play those and sing along with it. So the kids grew up with me and MawMaw being in the car being silly, and we'd have my nephew and Casey and Tiffany and whoever else they brought with them. Very loud. Very loud. And when Kevin would come home, it would be like that. Oh, wow, Ben. Mama always told people she chose me. But she kind of worried about me and Kevin both, either one of us getting hurt, because I was just coming out of the divorce. And she didn't want me to be hurt if he ended up going back to the girl he was with for 3 years. She didn't stand a chance. I say that now, but when I first met Kevin, I really thought that he might end up going back to her. So I felt very inadequate. But there was a girl that worked with me at the daycare. She worked for me at the in-home daycare. And sometimes she would be with us. And she knew how loud and silly. I had 12 kids at the daycare. I was used to loud. And I would be silly with the kids. And so she rode with us one time with Kevin in the car. And everything was just silence. And she looked around like, what's going on? And I had to tell her, I said, no. Kevin don't like a lot of stuff like that going on. Oh my gosh, you sound like Casey. Casey now, he will go in his room and just shut the door, and I respect his privacy a little bit anyway. So you guys been together 42 years, and me and Kevin's been together 35. But, now he'll just tell me hush. I mean, he'll just, when we were first together, I would just not talk much. And people that knew me, that was kind of weird for them to see me with my eyes down and not saying anything. If you love the silence, Monique, I don't see how you ended up in here with me. I just don't know. But yeah, I don't think anybody thought me and Kevin would be the longest married out of his brothers and sister. And out of my family, so far, me and him have been married longer than anybody that I know. And we were the least likely to succeed, is what I think my dad thought and other people thought. And me, that never bothered me. But Tiffany and Casey, they're like that. But Tiffany talked, okay, you guys, she talked more than me when we picked her up. It's just that they don't do a lot of sharing. And it's like almost like a regiment military style where she's at. And when they first wake up in the morning, they have so long that nobody talks to nobody. That's your time to reflect. That's your time to either pray or just have peace before you have to start doing things. So Tiffany's kind of like, she has enjoyed that part of it. But they don't get much just share time. And when they do share, I was told Tiffany doesn't really share. So Miss Stella that come with her, that was the first time she got to hear so much of Tiffany's story. Yeah, it's always been kind of chaotic here. It has. It's just that with Casey always had somebody here with him. Tiffany sometimes would have all her girls friends come and spend the night. Then, me and MawMaw would be at the table talking. So it was always something going on. Even if we did board games, not boring, but if we sat in the kitchen and broke out Scrabble or whatever, and we would sit in the kitchen at the kitchen table and do these things. So we did a lot of family time. Kevin was still driving over the road, so he missed those times, but he got to where we could play dominoes. He would do that. And, all of us would sit down and do that at the table. Oh, wow. Myra has been only 1% of her battery has charged, is what she's telling me. But we could sit around and do dominoes. But if we had any company over, he just wouldn't interact until the hails came. When Mothership landed, he stayed in there the entire time, and I was really shocked. Not that he wouldn't like the company. Yeah, sometimes I don't give him decompression time. He don't call it that, but, sometimes I just jump right in there and I'm just all that nervous talking. Hey, Force Speed. Good morning, my love. Good morning. So good to see you. Your brother's come in a couple of times. He has caught me on a couple of times and always ask about you. Sometimes I know I thought one time, I know he gets tired of him coming in and me saying, how's Fourth Speed doing? How's your brother? I said, yep. I said, if you don't tell him, I'm going to email him. I said, bless his heart. I said, I'll email him sometime. Oh, okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you for telling me. I think, okay. I think Derek just took it down, so that's why I couldn't find it. Oh, okay. 4-speed, things are good. My daughter's doing really good in her rehab. And my grandson, that's 17, came to see his mom and me. And he brought her a bouquet of different flowers and one rose. And then he brought me daisies. And we just put them together. So he is so sweet. It's so sweet. And tall, 6'4" already. But I told him, I said, well, you could very well end up 6'6". He said, oh, nanny, I hope not. But it's in his genes that he could very well get that tall. I know. She looks good, really, really good. So yeah, she's probably at about 116. She might have weighed 120, 119, and she's 6'1". So out there, the streets aren't that great, but the doctors messed her up is why she could not retain weight. So I think right now her nerves are calmed down. She's not on any medicine. She was so proud of that. She said, Mom, all I take is an antacid and Tylenol. She said, that's all I take now. And my vitamin. She said, I'm not on any kind of antidepressant. When I go to bed at night, I sleep. And she said, I have a peace about me and I sleep. I said, well, that's good, baby. I said, that's real good. So, you know that she does feel good about that. Because when the doctor messed her up, she was afraid to go to sleep after her ordeal. So, oh, years later, it took her taking something to go to sleep, taking something, she wanted to be wired up. She'd do the energy shots all the time, and it just wasn't good for her. 6'9". Well, my ex was tall, but Kevin is 6'1", Casey's 6'3". But on my ex was 6'6". His mom was about 6'1". His sister was about 6'1", and that's where Tiffany gets her height from. So 4'11". 4'11". I know 4-speed. I know. It's, all we can do is pray for our spouses, pray for our friends. I always say my family that was, I call you guys my family that was blessed to me, but not born to me. And I always take a moment when I'm praying at night and I go real silent, because it's like I can see all of you guys. So yes, every night you guys get prayed for. But your younger brother, not 5-speed. Your younger brother. How many brothers you got? And I always pray for Mystic as well. And right now I have in the hashtag prayers for Isaiah, for him and his mom, Mystique. Because she's going through a lot right now. Seeing her son going through all those tests, and it's just pretty bad. Yeah, I know. I used to be 6'8". I mean, 5'8" or 5'9". And then as my disc started messing up, I said, hey, when they put all those zombie bones in my neck, it should have put me right back up to where I was supposed to be. She is, and my heart goes out to her, 4-speed. Mystique is a very sweet and loving person, mom, and woman. She just, I'm just glad that I'm able to stay in touch with her. I'm very glad that I am. And, that way through Messenger, we can get more personal than what you can when you put stuff out on Facebook. Everything shouldn't go out on Facebook, or everything shouldn't go live here. So, yeah, we were able to converse back and forth. But I still think her doing her lives sometimes on Facebook, I think it helps her to at least get some things out. It helps her get stuff off her chest, and when people interact with her, she don't feel so alone at the hospital. I tell you what, Joss, you look just like your mom. Your mom is so beautiful, and you look just like her, especially when your mom was real young. I was trying to figure out which one of her daughters looks so much like her, but I think all of you favor her. But I really see it in you. I really do. Oh, goodness. I swear, Dwayne, I thought you was going to be shorter. I think Ben, I think Sonia's pretty tall, or she was. I thought Sonia was taller than me. Joss, is your mom about 5'8", 5'9"? Dwayne, you so crazy. You ain't right. Your daughter does look just like her mom. And I look like my mom. Especially when I have this snooty look. Well, if she's watching, she would better have put in there, especially if she wanted to come up here. Yeah, she's about 5'8", 5'9" is how tall Sonia is. And your wife is very beautiful, Dwayne, and very sweet. Yeah, me and her, when you got us together here at the house, it's a toss-up of who could talk the most. Me and her, like right there together. And that's like me and Diana. We're just like right there together on the who can talk more. I'm starting to wind down now, though, you guys. Coffee doesn't wake me up. Absolutely does not wake me up. I have a cup every night before I go to sleep. Look, like the little thing I put one time as my thumbnail on here, Dwayne, of the squirrel doing this, and it says, "We're all nuts here. It's not a competition." And it had his hands all up in the air, the squirrel did. And it was so crazy because that's one of my lives that got really, really out of hand. And I'm like, and I have not used that thumbnail again. I'm like, oh, wow. And of all the thumbnails to have chose, and that was a crazy day. That was, oh yeah, see, Jacob's going to keep getting taller because boys don't usually get taller until they hit high school. And then once they hit high school, they'll just shoot straight up, most of them. I know, Ann. I haven't used that one again. Because I'm like, no, I'm going to have to pick better ones. So I started saving good ones. Because it was almost a toss-up that day. Ben, you ain't right. Oh. I don't know, Ben, because probably my cousin is the female version of you. I'm just saying. She was in California during the whole hippie movement, and oh yeah. Well, everybody in this house is taller than me. I used to be tall in my family, but then I became the short person in the family. Ben is very silly, and him and Dwayne sometimes get on it's like, Ben, she talks, I know her daddy was a sailor, and her uncle, my dad, was a sailor. But I think she was born with that language. When she was coming around here all the time, that language. And she thinks that she is more man than any. Look, we in the South. You don't come to the South and think that when you're around the good old boys that you're just like barely over a midget and that you're just going to stand up to all of them. You're in the South. The men down here might be different than out there. But yeah, she'd like to pull their chains every now and then. And she's of the female persuasion. So she'll be looking at some of the guys' wives, and the guys will be looking at her, looking at his wife, and yeah. So I tell her, you're a home wrecker. These women was with men, and they had their children, and next thing you know, that's what I tell her. I say, you're just a home wrecker. You're always looking at these straight women, and you come to the South, these men, they're going to say what they think, and then she just says what she thought too. So I'm like, oh, I noticed that when I went to your last video about the car, and I'm like, oh boy, so my parked in handicap. Ben's probably going to set it off on this one. All right, Monique, I love you. I'll see you in the morning. But yeah, I won't. It is an hour and a half. Thank you, Monique. You guys, this morning, I almost didn't make it. And all I could think about was Ben. I thought, Ben's going to say, and that's what somebody put Ben's link in the chat. But I thought of you, Ben, because I thought he's going to say, see, I told you not to be on too long. But yeah, I'm going to go lay back down when I get off of here. What do I say when after I've done topped my lipstick off, it's time for me to go? And I didn't take my makeup off from yesterday, so all I had to do is touch it up, so I was lazy. I did a lazy day. And you guys, when you go purple hair, they don't make, God didn't make purple eyebrows. So, it's kind of hard for me to do that makeup. I'm like, oh my gosh. If I have to go out in public, I'm going to be seen out there, and it's just going to be like, whoop, purple caterpillar. All right, let me see. Let me go to the other. One time he told me not to drop his link. Oh, that's what he told me one time. Bless him. I love Ben. All right, let me see if I can find Ben. Oh, yeah. Okay. All right, let me copy and paste. Oh, okay. I don't know anybody in Tennessee. Ben just told me one time, don't show that one. When he was, when he done the Dear Governor. Yeah. Now look, I don't want to know about car warranty. I don't know anybody in Tennessee, and I don't need no warranty. So stop calling me. All right, guys. Oh, my back says go back in there, lay down, and finish watching that documentary. And the documentary is about the poison in our makeup and stuff, and Johnson & Johnson, and the talcum powder that caused so many problems with women. But it goes on to tell that the makeup that had arsenic in it for skin lightening and mercury. So yeah, that's what I was watching this morning. So yes. That's the one that Ben said, no, don't show that one. It's not proper on your channel. And I'm like, oh, okay. Oh my goodness. Look, Ben, like I said, we all have issues. We are all different. We're made different. Some people have colorful language that they have to ask God to help them with their language. My daughter says, Mom, I'm praying. Oh, hey there, Robbie, my love. You guys, I send Robbie my pictures of the raccoon. I did a TikTok video of it. And yeah, so TikTok, if I can master it or learn to use it, will probably mostly be of the dog and the raccoon. But my daughter said, Mom, if God could just give me a glorified face. And that's how she said, a glorified face, Mama. I can't help how my face looks. And everybody thinks I'm mad because I don't walk around smiling all the time. And when Monique was in, she said, I don't either. I'm not going to just smile at somebody because they, just for the heck of it. So, you know, that she says she wants a glorified face. Casey's like, and mine's usually like this, but unless I'm really sick or something. But Casey, it's according to what kind of day he's having. But Tiffany, yes, the RBF. Yes. That is, so Gracie. Oh, yes. And I'm very expressive. And Casey is. Tiffany, if she just shuts down her face, you can't read her. You know, she doesn't have a readable face. Most people at work used to just steer clear of her. And I would say, no. I said, you don't understand. I said, Tiffany's a lot calmer than what you think. But she just had that all business face when she was at work. Because she was had a lot of pressure on her with the job that she did. Oh, and your mama, Joss, Robbie, my girl Sonia that's been in the hospital for 7 months. Little Thunder is her daughter, her oldest daughter. But yeah, your mom always said that, but I could make her laugh. I could always make her laugh. I could make her laugh with one word, but I'm not going to say it here. But one little word, and she'd laugh. I'd say, see, I knew I could. So I'm the silly one of all the girls. And Dwayne, LizzAnn got me. Because Myra did a, what kind of cat are you? So you go to this little thing, what kind of cat am I? And the cat that I got, I couldn't help what it was doing. And, oh my goodness, Lizz put, really, Darlene? And I still left it. I said, well, I can't help which one they said I look like. I'm just saying. Myra got the cute little fluffy cat. That's why I went and, yes. And that's why I went and done that little thing. I thought, oh, what cat would I get? Yeah, the cat cleaning itself. Oh, your granddad showed you my Facebook? Oh my gosh, yeah. Oh, Joss, there's so many different sides to me. I mean, I'm still me all wrapped up in one, and you guys see the different. And that's why today I knew Denise didn't feel good, and I thought, well, everybody can just talk about whatever today. Don't have to be serious, and you guys are all my therapy, really. I really used you guys today because I needed to wake up, and I needed some friends to talk to, and somebody to make me laugh. But yes, I was laying down on my pillow and I'm watching the time. I'm about to go, but Here I was laying on my pillow, the dog laying beside me, and I turned and looked up, and there's my cat cleaning herself, both legs up in the air. And when I looked at her, she just stopped, and she had this look and just stared at me and never stopped. I mean, never didn't move. And I said, really? Really? No respect here. And then she goes back. Hush, Dwayne. All right, I got to go. You see what Ben said before Dwayne gets me going. I love you guys. You guys pray that I get up in the morning and just come on and do this. But I love you guys, and thank you for coming in here, making me laugh, and just being here today. I love you guys. Mm.